All right, we will call to order here the North Canton Planning Commission meeting. It is August 7th, 2024, and it is 6 p.m. The first thing on the agenda tonight is our roll call. So, Randa, if you could.
Mr. Dalpace?
Here.
Mr. Mahousen?
Here.
Mr. Sarah?
Here.
Mr. LePage?
Here.
Mr. Reed?
Here.
Okay. Next on the agenda is our minutes for consideration. This will be submitting the May 1st, 2024 meeting minutes for approval. Not sure if any of the commission members have comments, but if not, I would entertain a motion. And just one slight difference tonight, moving forward. If you do make a motion, please state your name before the motion. That way Randa can make the appropriate note in the summary minutes.
Todd LePage, move to approve the minutes.
Eric Delpaze, second. So we have a motion and a second. Randa, if you could do roll call.
Mr. Mahousen?
Yes.
Mr. LePage?
Yes.
Mr. Sarah?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Dalpace?
Yes. All right, next on the agenda tonight is our adjudication hearings. The first one is application number CUSE-24-2. This is 1515 North Main Street, North Canton, Ohio. And this is a conditional use to permit a 7-brew coffee drive-through. So if the applicant or someone representing the applicant would like to speak at this time. And just a reminder for everybody, if you would like to speak tonight, please make your way to the podium and then also state your name and address for our notes. Thank you.
So Sarah Kramer, I'm with Wolfert, 1203 Walnut Street, Cincinnati, Ohio. I am representing as the civil engineer for Seven Brew. We'll get into a little bit more with the planning commission later, but this is just to propose drive-through use for this. There are many outlets nearby that are already a drive-through use, such as the Burger King, so we're trying to implement that. Our site is right by the Meyer, the new Meyer.
Okay. Martin, or from the administration side, would you like to make a few comments?
Sure. So last night, the Zoning Board of Appeals held a hearing for a variance, and in fact, the two go together, so I'll cover both the item 4A and 4B there as they're relevant to both. The ZBOA did approve a few variances for each of these. One is to permit 2 drive-through lanes as opposed to the single drive-through lane. And that's for both of the projects.
2 menu boards and 4 sidewall wall signs.
That's correct. Yeah, the 4-sided signage on the Chick-fil-A side of the project. Each of those were successful in preparation for tonight's hearing. Staff recommendation is for approval. Once we get to a motion, I would like to request, if it is a favorable motion, that we implement a condition of approval for the Chick-fil-A to incorporate just a note to clarify that we still need the permit. So essentially, construction would not start until obtaining the building permits.
Okay. Okay. Is that all, Martin?
That is. And
Okay.
did you have?
Just that, if I may say, there was a question about traffic flow. I think most,
Do we want to get into that for the actual planning commission
it's true.
portion?
Or
Or do you want to talk about that? I just did a brief just because it was the conditional use.
well, then let's leave it at that.
Okay.
Sure. Not a problem. Thank you.
Okay. Commission members, any thoughts, comments regarding this? Okay. If there are no comments from commission members, I would like to open this up for anyone in the audience that would like to speak at this time. And just a reminder, this is for the first item on the agenda, which is the 7 Brew Coffee drive-through. So if there's anyone from the public that would like to speak on it, this would be your opportunity.
Just to know when this is running, we can't hear you.
Okay, well, I'll talk a little louder. I'm sorry.
Thank
Thank you for letting us know. Appreciate it. If there's no comments from the public or the city again, I'd be happy to open this up for a motion.
Brian Maholson, I would motion to approve conditional upon granting of the building permit, construction permit.
Tom, Sarah, I will second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and just to be clear, this is for application number CUSE-24-2, conditional use to permit a 7 Brew Coffee drive-through. Miranda, if you could do a roll call, please.
Mr. Sarah,
Yes.
Mr. Dapes,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. LePage,
Yes.
Mr. Mahousen.
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is an adjudication hearing for application number CUSE-24-3. This is at 1535 North Main Street, North Canton, Ohio, and this is a conditional use to permit a Chick-fil-A drive-through. So if the representative would like to give another summary that probably is very familiar to the last.
Okay, Sarah Kramer again from Wolpert. Basically, it's a similar, stands that Chick-fil-A is a drive-through, chicken food restaurant drive-through. That we can get into more of the details of the actual site and the zoning of it in the planning commission portion, but this is just to approve the drive-through use for this zone.
Okay. Martin, thoughts from the city?
Same comments in regards to the zoning board of appeals and the variances. Staff recommendation is approval with the same condition for construction and the permits, be issued prior to the commencing of construction.
Okay. Commission members, any thoughts, comments at this time?
Just to confirm, I've seen the plans. This is a drive-through as well as a small eat-in
Yeah.
restaurant. Okay, similar to what's in the Belden area?
Yeah.
Okay, any other comments, commission members? Okay, at this time, I would open it up to the public for any commentary. All right, so if there's no other comments, I would entertain a motion.
Brian Maholson, I would motion to approve the request based on granting of a building permit.
Bill Reed, I second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and just to be clear, this is for application number CUSE-24-3, conditional use to permit a Chick-fil-A drive-through. Randa, if you could do a roll call, please.
Mr. LePage,
Yes.
Mr. Mahousen,
Yes.
Mr. Dapes,
Yes.
Mr. Sarah,
Yes.
Mr. Reed.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda, this is our public hearing portion, and this will be first on the agenda is application ZAMD-24-6. This is 1550 West Maple Street, North Canton, Ohio, establishing zoning for 14 parcels newly annexed into the city. The current zoning is light industrial, and the proposed zoning is general business. Mr. Van Gundy, are you speaking on this matter
I
tonight?
believe so. Thank you.
Take it away.
So the annexation is complete. It has been accepted by Jackson Township as well as Stark County. The ordinance requires that when we do an annexation that we need to assign a zoning district to that. And in comparing the Jackson Township zoning of light industrial was closest similar to our GBB district, and which is being proposed tonight. It is being referred to Planning Commission from City Council. Just in as a reminder, and for the group perhaps at this point, we're making a recommendation to send back to City Council before you tonight. And yeah, happy to answer any questions, but that pretty well covers it.
Okay. Thank you. Commission members, any comments?
I'm just curious about the one lone lot in the middle. It's not outlined.
Yeah, good question. That was a parcel where the resident opted out of the annexation, and this was the type of annexation that it was not required. In this case, it was excluded, as you see in the exhibits.
There's actually two that fall under that within lot that's shown.
Let's see, we had a couple different exhibits here.
Yeah, one's on the corner of,
South Maple.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the second one would be there on the corner of West Maple and Wise Avenue there. And then, I might point out for reference, those two parcels is current development for the Caliber Collision, which has permits issued on that. They have already started construction. They certainly have started the clearing of the land on that.
The two to the south, Martin?
Two to the south,
Yeah,
yes, south
okay.
of West Maple.
Just want to make sure that was clear.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Do those become islands or are they connected somehow to Jackson Township still?
So Jackson Township, they are still connected to Jackson Township. What you see on the exhibit on the monitor, the colored parcels are the annex parcels that we're considering the zoning districts tonight.
Okay. And just so we're clear, so the light industrial that is currently zoned in Jackson, our GBB general business is the closest. Is there any major differences that stick out between the two?
There was significant differences to that. Some of what we're looking at is trying to compare the existing uses in light of, in comparing the proposed use, particularly the body shop coming in. The city's general business is, focused a bit more towards office space where the light industrial starts getting more into the manufacturing side of things.
Right.
And the city does have an light industrial, but it was focused not so much on the proposed uses and the existing uses that are there. The GBB was a bit more consistent with the existing as well as the current project under starting.
Okay. All right. Anything else from the administration on that? Okay.
so those people that aren't highlighted are still gonna reap benefits of the city. Like, for instance, in the winter when we plow, are we plowing that street?
I
We're not the
don't,
ones that are possibly paying for it out of their city taxes or.
so there is an agreement between the city and Jackson Township, and some of the services Jackson Township will continue. For example, the fire and police service, Jackson Township will continue to service that portion
Okay.
of the city, although it's in the city. So there is a joint agreement there that has been agreed upon by the city as well as Jackson Township.
Okay.
Any other thoughts from commission members, comments, questions? Okay. At this time, I would open it up to the public for speaking on this issue. If you would like to speak, if you can make your way to the podium. Discuss.
The podium?
Yes, please. That way everybody can see who's talking.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you could just state your name and address.
Mary Louise Walters. I'm the owner on 6621 Wise Avenue. The only house left. The
Okay.
brown house is gonna get knocked down real soon. So I wanna know how this is going to affect me changing this to general business or the zoning and the annexation with Jackson Township. Am I still gonna pay taxes to Jackson or the city? Or I do believe that you guys get the taxes if something comes in there and builds something. That's the annexation for the Jackson and North Canton City. But I think Jackson's still gonna take care of like my area, my one and only home there. And so I don't think I have to worry about my taxes going up or anything like that. Is that true?
Okay. I would have to defer to the administration on this if someone, Mr. Mayor, or,
I don't have the agreement in front of me, but as I understood it,
I can't hear you.
I don't have the agreement in front of me at this time, but the police, fire, and EMS will still be
Jack,
Jackson Township. Property taxes will go to Jackson Township. Income taxes will come to the city of North Canton.
that's what I wanted.
Yes.
And then what do you have planned for that area that you bought everything up? You're knocking everything down? What's the plan? Anything?
Well, part of the plan is, part of the land banking program is to give us an opportunity to bring in business for economic development. That land is open. We haven't sent out any requests for, proposals or interest right now. But that, I think, would be on the future, as now we have a piece of property that is developable.
Yeah, like an island.
Yes, well, Mr. Heiser had that for a long time,
Yes, he
and
did.
nothing was ever done with it.
Yes, he did.
And so I just felt if we had an opportunity, we're so landlocked in the city, if we have an opportunity to acquire land for economic development, to support our income taxes and things like that, sustain the services that we have. That was one of the reasons that we purchased that. We've had some interest, but there's nothing that I can, present at this time. A phone call or a visit with someone, but there's been nothing definitive. But I understand your concern, and I'm with you. I'd like to see that develop, something that's going to be beneficial, not only to Jackson, but also to us. And-
So should I wait for the big company to come through that's gonna want my house?
Well, that is up to you, young lady.
Or does the city wanna pay me what I want from it?
That is that's up for discussion. But I think that's probably the best way to handle that right now. But
And anything's for sale for the right. And it won't go cheap.
thank you very much for
You know that.
fair warning.
Fair warning, not cheap. I know how much you paid for all the different little places around my house. That's, that's public,
Yes, it is, yes.
So,
You're very public
you know.
and very open about what we were doing,
right?
yes.
So it's my chance to make some money in my life. And so I either wait for the big guy to come through and pay me. Or you guys can pay me and then you can get reimbursed when the big guys come through and hire you.
There's always challenges and opportunities.
Yes, there is.
I think we all
It's
have,
negotiable.
we all have to look at them.
Right.
Yes. I like your attitude.
Right now, my grandson's living in that home. That home's been in our family all our life. I grew up there as a little girl, and there was nothing around, nothing. It was awesome. And then through the family, my husband and I bought it from my parents. And now my grandson's living in there because I'm staying with my mom. But yeah, so
Watch it, Mike.
when
She's
we
got it.
bought the house, we were told, you're sitting on a gold mine. 45 years later, and I'm still sitting there.
Time marches on, doesn't it?
So, yeah, I'm waiting,
Okay.
okay?
Fair
So when
warning.
you're ready to negotiate, give me a call.
You keep coming a little closer and a little closer. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want the police officer to take me
No,
out.
no, no,
I'm not.
No, 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 no. You're good.
But I know the whole history of the area, the flumes.
Yes.
They've owned all that and, you know, Can Do you own Can Do now?
No, not that I know.
No? But the little bungalow next to it that went for $525,000. A bungalow across by H&H. I have it on my phone.
On H&H.
Well, it's not
Oh, it's on
H&H
Cromwell.
anymore, Napa.
Oh, yeah, now.
It's between Can Do and another business. It's just this little bungalow that you all paid $525.
Remember that stuff.
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't the attorney that bought the corner down there?
Nope.
You know, where the
It
water
was
is?
city. It was the
Okay.
city. I have it on my phone. I'll show it to you sometime.
That's fine.
All right, that's all I gotta say. As long as it's not gonna affect me, I'm in no hurry to sell.
I understand.
So I'll wait.
Okay,
I waited this long.
understood.
If I don't get it, then my son.
I understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Anyone else at this time would like to speak? Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Joe Whitman. I'm at 6568 Wise Avenue. Hello, neighbor.
Hi.
So, my wife found this property in 2017, and I've tried to make it look pretty nice. And I love the trees across the street. I actually used to mow a little bit, and I do appreciate North Canton mowing that area. As you guys do develop whatever, I'm hoping that trees can be part of the development in the future. Also, traffic is fairly heavy, heavier than I thought on Wise Avenue. And I know trying to go from Maple Street on Whipple Avenue, there probably should be some type of light there. And thank goodness there's gonna be a collision center. But and just trying to make things better, I'm hoping that you guys keep the same essence, rather than just putting up storage buildings or having some other kind of just bland business. Hopefully we don't need any more car washes. There's enough around here, and a lot of tire stores already exist. So also I'm hoping that my taxes don't go up. They've raised them every year. I'll try not to improve my property too much. But other than that, I just want to have our small business do well, and we work together if something comes up. I know I'm in Plain Township. And so again, I'm on the other side of the island there.
Are you close to Edie's, sir?
Yes, I am.
Right beside the dog.
Yeah, there is the dog spa, the
Yes.
dirty dog spa, and then I'm in this other one.
Yeah.
What's the name of that guy that used to own it? Chiropractor.
Oh,
Waldo.
Waldo. Dr. Waldo. Ed Waldo.
That's from Terrence.
Yeah,
He's up here.
yeah. So this is my little
Okay.
1923 house.
It's Whitman Automation, it's a business.
Yes, yeah. Sometimes the public doesn't understand. We only go to about where DeVille is, where his apartment's in,
Yeah,
and then it goes on to Plain Township. So on that side of Wise is Jackson Township.
yeah.
And when you get to where Johnny's Pastry was, the Italian restaurant there, that's all Plain, and that wasn't in the city. That's Plain Township, that's
Is it
Stark
gonna
County
stay in
Sheriff.
Plain then?
Pardon me?
Is it gonna stay in Plain
It's-
Township?
As far as I know, that would still remain as Plain Township. Yeah, Jackson's on the other side.
Okay.
Just a point of clarification for the public sometime. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, no problem. I would just say, sir, as far as, you mentioned trees and, what when it's improved, when we get to that point, I would say in general, our zoning here, requirements for all our uses are much more, improved, they require more improvements than I would say on the Jackson side in general, and especially from light industrial moving to GBB, that will be a better result for whatever's developed there versus the light industrial and Jackson zoning. So I just want to, that might reassure some of your question when it comes to that, the future development. So
Yeah, I'm just also thinking more cars, more everything, which
Right.
is not a problem, but it's amazing how many cars are there now. And I was talking to the police officer how young gentlemen will see how fast their cars get down Wise.
gotcha.
Oh, that's
Gotcha.
been that way for
Yeah,
Okay.
crazy.
been that way for a long forever.
Okay.
Especially 2 o'clock in the morning when Strubles used to let out way
Oh.
back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah.
The motorcycles, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for your commentary, sir. Appreciate your comments. Anybody else the public at this time like to speak?
Yeah.
Did I ask the right questions?
I'm Melissa Meek. I work for Joe Whitman in that building. And to lighten things up, what's gonna happen to the deer that live in the woods there? Because they were coming from where the woods is no longer there. So.
Unfortunately, I can't answer your question, but that is a very good question.
Probably gonna come in my backyard for all I know.
Okay, anyone else in the public wish to speak on this issue? Okay, commission members, any other comments, questions?
Brian Mahalson, is it the city's intent to go through lot consolidation now or when a developer or business shows interest in that property?
I'm not aware of any consolidation at this point, so it would, as I understand it, it would be as the interest is shown there and the need is there, so we don't end up, producing multiple versions of a plat, at that
Okay.
point. So.
I would agree with Marty on that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, commission members? Anything to add from city's perspective?
I believe that covers everything.
Okay. Well, at this time, if there are no other comments or questions, I would entertain a motion.
I would motion to approve as submitted.
Okay, we have a motion.
Todd LePage, second.
We have a motion and a second, and this is for application ZAMD-24-6, establishing zoning for 14 parcels newly annexed into the city. Current zoning is light industrial, and the proposed zoning is general business, GBB. Randa, if we could do a roll call, please.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. LePage,
Yes.
Mr. Sarah,
Yes.
Mr. Mahousen,
Yes.
Mr. Delpage.
Yes. All right. Next on the agenda is development review application number DPLN-24-5 at 1515 North Main Street, North Canton, Ohio. This is development review for conditional use permit application CUSE-24-2 to allow a new 7 Brew Coffee drive-through restaurant. So, if the applicant would like to speak on this issue further.
Sarah Kramer again from Wolford. So 7 Brew. Don't know if you,
What page do you want?
site plan, that's up a little bit.
C201.
Yeah. Keep going. Keep going, 2 more. It's this one.
There we go.
That's good enough. That's the straight one. All right. So this site is on the south side of those the outlots that are in the Meyer store development. So this is the 7 Brew coffee stand. This company basically operates only by drive-through. There is no in-shop walk-up station or anything. They operate solely by the drive-through. There are workers that go out to the cars with their iPads and take the orders. And then there are runners that take the coffee to the people once they pull up to the building. So it's pretty similar to the concept of Chick-fil-A too. So basically, it's a continuous line and there usually isn't any backup. Currently, we have a dual lane that the variance that was approved last night. We have 19 cars total for the stack, which 7 Brew only requires a minimum of 16 for there, so we have a little bit more than what their minimum is required. Currently, our driveway is right on Myers private access drive, so we are not directly impacting any of the public roads. So in answer to Mayor, your question on traffic, The Meyer development, when they did everything, they did an abbreviated TIS report on 5 of those intersections, 1 to the north, 3 of the intersections in the Meyer development, and then 1 to the south. And it was their findings that everything was as it should be. They made all the improvements that were needed for including these outlots. And then basically all of these 3 intersections are signaled to control the ins and outs of these outlot developments. The zone is MSNG. And we just got the conditional approval for drive-through, so we should be good on that. And 10 parking spaces are approved, and those are solely for the workers. So, I think I said everything. I know I've been in talks with Martin about this site. There wasn't really any major comments with zoning. So, if you guys have any additional questions, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Van Gundy, if you would like to talk about it from the city's perspective.
Thank you, Chairman. Staff did conduct a pre-application meeting where this was reviewed amongst the city team. Any comments that were discussed as part of that have been incorporated into the plans. I think something interesting I'd like to point out as part of this is they have submitted plans for review on the building. It is an industrialized unit. That is a program through the state of Ohio whereby they do the inspections, build the structure offsite. Not necessarily relevant to what we're doing, but it is interesting. And so once this project gets started, it should go pretty quickly, and that is the building will show up built. And from there, it happens pretty quickly. And as I understand, they're looking at fall. Is that a completion or start?
Starting construction at the end of September.
Okay. And staff does find, substantial compliance with the zoning code and is making a recommendation for approval.
Okay, thank you, Martin.
My pleasure.
Okay, commission members, any comments and or questions regarding this development plan?
What's going to be the hours of operation?
Hours of operation are 5 a.m. to 10 p.m.
And is there going to be lighting then underneath this canopy, or how you?
There is lighting underneath the canopy, and there's some blue lighting around the building. But we do provide photometrics to include those and make sure that they meet the zoning criteria.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. These are the poles, right?
Yeah. Looks like it.
Is there going to be a noise level with the speakers, or?
Yeah, there's no like speakers or anything. It's water. Yeah, there's no intercom for the mini boards or anything like that. I don't believe in having music playing.
There is no.
Okay.
It's
So,
just an individual taking orders all the time, basically outside.
But you do have speakers, you're going to have music playing? Not like a car wash where you hear the. So,
yeah.
Because name's Matthew Lehman from Columbus, Ohio, 5831 Stewart Road. We've worked with other property owners, shopping centers, municipalities, police departments on a level of sound for our music. It's just an amenity. It's our focus to keep sound down, which is one of the reasons why we don't have what we call a SWAT box or an intercom to drive through to do that. But our whole 7 brew is an experience. So when we go, we try to create environment for everybody. And music and live music is a way that
Martin, have you looked into this music issue or for a noise nuisance?
The city does have sound ordinance on that. It's for the area. We have Apple Grove and North Main there with a lot of traffic, and the noise ordinance is relative to the traffic noise there. With both of those being a high volume traffic street, that does give us a higher threshold for the sound. And then the other thing that should be considered as part of that is our residential uses are considerably off in the distance with significant barriers between this project and the residential uses that would actually be behind Meyer on that. So really pretty low risk of having a conflict there. But if in the event there is, it would be referred to the police chief who does the enforcement on the noise ordinance, and they'd follow up through that. So, and at that point, it would be just adjusting the volume on the music if it was, in excess on the volume.
So ultimately, the city could have control.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There is an ordinance, and I will say I was over by the Maslin location, and right next door at that Chick-fil-A just a week and a half ago, I think, I didn't even hear any music from the Chick-fil-A location, and it's fairly close. Do you have an approximate location on that one? I believe you
Chick-fil-A distance to us.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but it's very close.
It was.
I mean, just to reiterate too, we want to be, good members of this community. If you come to us and say, this is too loud or anything, we're happy to work with the police chief and everybody here to satisfy that. Our logo or motto is cultivating kindness. We are truly members of the community. We are not like some other big companies who come in and say that and are not. You will see us be very active here. That comes down to even something as simple. I shouldn't say simple, but something as the sound. But we'll stay within the legal ordinance that is set by the city, and if there's an issue, we're happy to address that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from commission members?
Brian Mahalson, was there a landscape plan with this?
Yes.
Okay, okay, so there is some greenery around, because it looks austere from the elevation.
It should be up a little bit.
Yeah.
I keep going.
Next page, right there. Down one. Random, sorry. Right there.
I see.
And we'll work with engineering to just make sure everything meets code.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments from commission members? At this time, if anyone from the public would like to speak regarding this issue, this would be your opportunity.
Can you build one on Wise Avenue?
We could. We could,
You're too expensive.
Well, the drive thing, you can come from Whipple and
after the meeting, if this would like to take place outside, we're more than welcome to do that. Okay, if there's nothing from any other public members or commission members, I would entertain a motion.
Bill Reed, like to make a motion to approve as accepted or proposed.
We do have a motion.
Sarah, second.
We have a second. And just to reiterate, this is for the development review application number DPLN-24-5. Randa, if you could do a roll call, please.
Mr. Dalpace?
Yes.
Mr. LePage?
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Mahousen,
Yes.
Mr. Sarah.
Yes.
Okay. Next on the agenda, this is development review application number DPLN-24-6. This is at 1535 North Main Street in North Canton. Development review for conditional use permit application CUSE-24-3 to allow a new Chick-fil-A drive-through restaurant. So, the applicant would like to return to the podium again.
One last time, right? All right, Sarah Kramer, Wolford. So this Chick-fil-A, it's about a 5,000 square foot building, located in the MSNG zone. We just got approved, 4 variances for the 4 wall signs, 2 drive-through lanes, and 2 menu boards last night. This is located on a 1.61 acre parcel. Basically, as far as traffic, it's very similar on the exterior as far as the Myers traffic report and the signals. The one thing that Chick-fil-A likes to do is they like to make sure that even though that there are measures on the outside of the site for traffic related, they like to make sure that they keep a lot of their stacking inside, which is why we are proposing about 500 linear feet of drive-through lane, and that's basically double because we have 2 lanes. It's kind of a preventative measure on Chick-fil-A's part just to make sure that all the traffic that they get and people that love chicken, just make sure that they are able to stay inside the site and not go exterior. But it's very similar to Seven Brew in the sense that there are 2 drives proposed onto Myers private access drive. Let's see. There are 76 parking spaces proposed. We did have a pre-application meeting with the city to go over all of their questions and concerns and submitted to them. I don't believe there are any concerns on zoning's part. I think that's my little spiel. If you guys have any questions.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Van Gundy?
Thank you, Chairman. As Ms. Kramer had indicated, staff did conduct a pre-application meeting whereby we reviewed the project with the city team. Any and all comments and questions have been incorporated into the plans before you tonight. Talked about the variance part. Staff is recommending an approval on this project as well.
Okay, and you had mentioned adding, if we go for approval, a condition would be, regarding construction, not starting until all permits are.
Yeah, we can certainly do that here as well. I believe we had that on the conditional use.
Okay, yeah, that's what I
But
figured.
it wouldn't hurt to reinforce it
Okay,
here as well.
okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Van Gundy.
Thank you.
Any questions from commission members?
Are you having any music outside?
Chicken
Unless the employees want to sing. But yeah, you guys know how Chick-fil-A runs. They, since COVID, have run with 2 canopies on the outside so that they can do more employee running and to kind of make their lines keep going. That's kind of how they work and how they run, and then there's sufficient parking for who needs to come inside as well.
Okay, any other questions from commission members or comments? Okay, at this time, if anyone from the public would like to speak on this issue, now would be your opportunity. Okay.
I'd like to say something.
Yes, I was just gonna come that way,
I have
Mr.
more
Mayor.
inquiries. When is Chick-fil-A coming to our city of North Canton? And I'm not trying to influence the vote here at all. It's just that
So, if all goes well, the projection start date is in April.
okay.
The construction start date, sorry.
Thank you very much.
And that is on the record. Okay. All right. Projected. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Spring of 2025. Okay. If there's nothing else from the city or commission members, I would entertain a motion on this agenda item.
Ryan Mahalson, with motion to approve application number DPLN -24-6 for construction of the Chick-fil-A drive-through restaurant, conditional upon granting of construction.
We have a motion. I will make a second. We have a motion and a second. Randa, if you could do a roll call, please.
Mr. Mahousen,
Yes.
Mr. Reed,
Yes.
Mr. Duppace,
Yes.
Mr. LePage,
Yes.
Mr. Sarah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. If there's no other business before the commission tonight,
Make motion to adjourn.
I will second the motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye.